Hey, welcome back guys to the Max Out Show. So today, let's discuss mental blind spots and specifically how to spot and overcome the self-limiting beliefs and stories and narratives that we've created in our lives. Now, in medical science, there's this term called scotoma, which essentially refers to this blind spot that all mammals have in their visual field, in their eyes, that essentially prevents us from perceiving this one spot out there in the world. In psychology, on the other hand, a psychological scotoma is a blind spot that we create with our brains. Why? Because our brain's job, at least one of them, is to defend our ego by essentially making sure that we don't look dumb and stupid in front of ourselves. And so one of the ways it does this is by making sure that the beliefs, the attitudes, the behaviors, and our worldview that we have are aligned with each other. So that essentially, we don't believe a certain thing and then the world is differently. Here's a silly example of this. A couple of years ago, my sister was celebrating her birthday. And she invited all her friends, right? And they were creating these facial masks of like tigers and elephants and lions and all that cool stuff, right? And I remember there was this little kid, right? And he was crying. It was like, I've lost my mask. I don't know where my mask is. I've lost it. Can you help me, right? And I looked at him, right? And I started laughing. I was like, dude, it's literally on your face. And he's like, no, it's not on my face. I don't know where it is. I've lost it. I was like, no. Like, go touch your face, right? It's there, right? And he touched it. He took it off. And he looked at it. He's like, oh yeah, there's my mask. Now, this may be just a silly example. We've all experienced this in our lives, haven't we? You're looking for the keys or you're looking for your phone and you're looking all over the place and you finally touch your pocket and you realize, oh, it's been there the whole time. What this means is our brain will literally deaden the nerve endings on your face, on your leg, or wherever else, right? To make sure that our belief that, hey, I don't know where my mask is, I don't know where my keys is true in our perceived reality. And it will literally change the way, the world that it shows you out there to match our internal beliefs. Now these are just some small examples, but extent to this is much bigger. If you believe, for example, that you're a good person, you'll begin to justify every act that you do, even bad acts, quote unquote, in a way that allows you to believe still that you're a good person. If you believe that the world is an unfair place, your brain will show you an unfair world. It will show you all the circumstances, all the things that happen, all the events that show you and prove to you that the world is an unfair place. If you believe that there's no opportunity out there, no possibility, no opportunities to get a job, for example, to advance yourself, to advance your career, your brain will literally shut down any opportunities that might show you otherwise, right? You can literally have right on the phrase, the greatest opportunities in your life. But if your brain's belief is there's no opportunity here, you will not perceive it and you'll not be able to act upon it. If your belief is I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not capable, I'm unworthy, the world is as it is, right? That this is what the world is look like, right? If you have these beliefs, your brain will go out and do whatever it takes to prove you right. It will show you all the circumstances and ideas and the conversations and the events that prove you right, meaning they are aligned with what you already believe. And it will show you all the times that people say you're stupid, people say you're not good enough. It will show you all the times when you didn't actually show up as the person you want to be. And vice versa, if you have positive beliefs, it will show you why you're actually the greatest person in the world. It will show you why you're so loved by other people, because every single smile that you get from a stranger now can be a sign that you're truly loved, that people really respect and like you, whatever it is. But really the central idea here is that whatever beliefs we have in our lives, they will literally dictate the worldview that we have and what we perceive in our outer reality. And so if we're not living the lives we want to have, if we're not creating the results that we want to create in our lives, most likely it is because there's a certain internal view, there's a certain blind spot, a mental trap that we fall into in our lives that actually keeps us stuck and trapped in who we are and prevents us from becoming the version of ourselves that we want to be. Leonardo DiCaprio once said, every next level of your life demands a better version of you. And today we'll talk about exactly that, how to create that better version of yourself. And there's really 3 key ideas I want to share with you, 3 tools or 3 really practices that can help you really overcome these limiting blind spots. First one is to start seeking out new and different information. There's this what's called a confirmation bias, which means we as human beings tend to seek information that confirms our already existing worldviews and beliefs. Meaning if, for example, in the US, you're a Democrat, you're gonna tend to seek out Democratic newspapers, Democratic news and information that already confirm your beliefs. And simultaneously, if you're a Republican, you probably tend to seek out Republican news and information, right? And we do this all the time with all the beliefs that we have in the world. If you believe a certain thing, you're gonna tend to only consume the kind of information and seek out the stuff that already tells you, hey, what you're believing is absolutely true. Now, it might not actually be the reality, right? Because if both Republicans and Democrats, are both believe it's true on the same issues, obviously, maybe neither of them, maybe at least one of them is not accurately perceiving reality. And so what this means is one of the great ways to overcome this blind spot is by deliberately seeking out information and people and conversations that contradict your worldview. Meaning, as a Democrat, seek out Republican news. As a Republican, seek out Democrat news. Right? I'm just making political examples here because that's an easy one. But you can do this with anything, right? If you believe a certain thing about the world, about nature, about life, about your mind, well, why not start seeking out different information? Why not have conversations with people from a totally different background, right? People from a different country, from a different state, people that just completely differ in the way they live their lives. And why not ask them, like, why do you really believe this, right? And not in a way to put them down, not in a way to win that argument, but rather as a way to learn. What makes you think this? What events have triggered you to live your life in that way? Why do you really believe that the world is this way, right? And when you start seeking out these information and having these conversations, what you realize is you're really challenged and tested to the core of your belief system. And this, of course, is a challenging process because we're so, intact with who we are, right? We always want to stay consistent with who we believe we are. And it's a painful process, but it's a necessary one if you want to overcome these limiting beliefs. So that's number 1, really seek out deliberately contradicting advice and information and news. Number 2 is journaling, right? So simply sitting down and writing down the beliefs that we have about the world, right? What do you believe about yourself? What do you believe about life? What do you believe about the world as it is, and opportunities and possibilities and your personality and who you are and all of this stuff? And so what matters here, what you want to look for is not truth, but effectiveness and usefulness. Meaning, what doesn't matter so much is this actually true? Am I actually beautiful? Am I actually good enough? Am I actually smart enough? Am I actually capable of this? Is the world actually a good place? Yeah, these things are important, but it's not actually what matters. What truly matters is this useful and effective in helping me live the life that I want to live? Meaning, is this belief that I have actually leading me towards my goals or preventing me from getting them? If, for example, you have a certain belief that I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I can't do this, I'm not capable. Now, right now, these things may be objectively true, right? In 8th grade, when kids told you, hey, you're ugly, you're stupid, that may have been objectively true. But the question is it useful for you to believe that if you want to achieve your goals, if you want to be happy, if you want to achieve a certain business result, if you want to get in shape, does it help you believing these things? And most likely it doesn't. And whenever there's this conflict, we believe something that does not lead us towards our goals, then it's time to change. Because that's when we've uncovered a blind spot, a mental trap of believing something that actually doesn't serve us. And so then what we want to do is we want to create the opposite, right? Maybe it's just flipping things around, right? It's asking ourselves, what's the exact opposite of what I'm currently believing? Well, I am good enough. I am smart. I am beautiful. I am, with practice, I can get better. If I put in enough work, I can really master a skill. Whatever it is, but really want to reframe that and turn it into its opposite, so we actually now have an unlimited, really positive and effective and useful belief in our lives. So that's number 2, is really journaling about the beliefs that you have and seeing, is this useful or not? And number 3, what you want to do is you simply want to look at the results that you're already getting in your life, in your health and fitness, in your relationships, in your happiness, in your career, and ask yourself, am I truly as successful in these areas as I want to be? Because if not, then chances are that you have a certain blind spot. You have certain beliefs about yourself or how the world operates that keep you stuck in who you are right now. If, for example, you're not having the health and fitness that you want, maybe it's because you don't believe you're an athlete. Maybe you don't believe you're actually capable of running a bunch of miles. Maybe you're like, I really don't like exercise, right? And that's the limiting belief. If you're not as happy as you want to be, maybe it's because you're like, I'm not worthy. I can't do this. I'm not a happy person. My family, I didn't come from a happy family, right? I didn't have the easiest childhood, right? Whatever those beliefs are, if you're not getting the results that you want, it's because they're actually stopping you from creating the life that you want. And so then again, it's time to go through this process of overcoming them by deliberately looking for exactly the opposite and substituting and replacing the old limiting story with something positive, performance enhancing. And so guys, these 3 ideas here. Number 1, seeking out contradicting information and deliberately learning these things. Number 2, journaling to find out what are your belief systems that are actually holding you back. And number 3, looking at the results in your life and seeing, where am I not actually creating the success that I want? And why is that? Right? What do I believe about myself or the world that's holding me back? These are really 3 super easy but super powerful and effective tools to help you spot and then overcome these mental blind spots that we've all created in our lives. And so that's my wish for all of you guys today. Let me know in the comments what mental blind spots that you find in yourself. All the best, guys, and see you soon.